Hey, y'all, welcome to Late Night with Bridget and Holly. I'm your host, Bridget.
And I'm your host, Holly.
And y'all, tonight's topic is for the love of pets. But before we get into that, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell here on YouTube. And you can find us on any of your favorite podcast stations every Tuesday and Friday at 11 p.m. If we're not there, hit us up at bridgetandholly@gmail.com and I'll be sure to get us there. But before we get started, I just want to let my little Holly know. I said we already did one podcast because we pre-record y'all, and she is
Yeah.
just adorable today. Looks like cute as a damn button.
But so are you, y'all. If y'all could see her, for those of y'all listening on Spotify and Apple and stuff, she's got on the cutest owl top and matching glasses. I'm jealous right now. I am
Oh,
jealous.
well,
She is
your
adorable.
lipstick matches your dress.
I didn't even pay attention to that. And it's this, no, it is called Duck Plump by NYX. And my lips are tingling like a motherfucker.
Well, I see. I can't do that. My lips can't handle that. But let me ask you a
Ah,
question. I got a bone to
uh,
pick with you.
okay.
Why do we call it Late Night with Bridget and Holly? And every time we take a podcast, you look like you're fixing to hit the town, and I'm in my gown like we're supposed to be. Like when we discussed this podcast, y'all, we said we can do it in our pajamas. I ain't seen this bitch wear pajamas yet, and we're almost 2 years into this. What the fuck?
I don't know. I think because I just dabble in makeup so much, and I always look so washed out because I'm a natural redhead. But my eyebrows are blonde, my hair on my arms are blonde, and I just look so washed out. So at least throughout the day, I always try to make sure that I at least do mascara, blush, and that's really it. So my features will pop a little bit. But I've also been up since 5:30 this morning because of hubby taking him to his test that
Doctor's
he had to
appointment.
get done today and stuff. And I did that for about, I don't know, we were all watching a movie, and I fell asleep halfway through it, and that nap helped a little bit. It kind of rejuvenated me. But I'm always on the go every day, so I always still have makeup on.
Well, I do also want to tell you, I don't know what color you've done your hair, but I think it's closest to the natural color that you have. And just right there, I want you to leave it alone.
I haven't dyed it yet. It's just fading out and getting back to, I don't know.
I
It's
don't know. Whatever that is, that's the color I want it to stay.
really.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
That
I
is the
gotta do something with my
compliment,
braids.
most complimentary color I've seen to your skin and your eyes.
I know, like, I don't have to dye my eyebrows or darken them. I'm
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
yeah, because that's so annoying. So annoying.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
thank
So
you, Bessie. You're such an awesome Bessie, and I love you.
you're welcome. So anyhow, y'all, tonight it's called For the Love of Pets. And the reason we called it that is because me and Holly are the first to tell you that we absolutely positively love, love, love our dogs. It might be a cat that you have. It might be like my daughter. She has a dog and a couple rats and she loves her rats. But Holly, don't you think that people nowadays treat their animals like kids?
I do, because back then, I mean, you've talked about this before. Back then, most people had their dogs outside. They were on a chain and had a dog house, and they were outdoor dogs.
Right.
But I think now people really do teach, or Lord, I can get tongue tied, really do treat them like they're kids. I mean, they're your babies. You're with
Yeah.
them day in and day out, pretty much 24/7. They welcome you when you come home. They comfort you when you're sad.
Yep.
But to me, a dog is like a human. And you hear people, oh, it's just an animal.
Mm-hmm.
It's got feelings. It knows love. It knows sadness. It knows grief. It knows pain.
Yep.
Like, what's that saying? What is it? If you cut me, do I not bleed?
Yeah,
If I
exactly.
hurt, do I not cry? Like, just because they can't physically talk to us,
Yep.
they do in different ways.
Yeah. Yeah, and don't you think like now for me, I know y'all Holly she hates to hear me talk about this, but my biggest fear is losing Ruger. And it's because I'll tell you I've often been close to my pets, but never he's my soul dog. I've never ever had an animal that I've been as attached to as him. Me and him are together 24/7. My kids are raised. Mr. Ronnie's gone part of the week. So he is my 24/7. And I dub him my favorite child. My kids all know that. But I've lost my dad. I've lost my grandmother. And I'll be honest with you, y'all may think this is terrible of me to say, but this is where I tell the truth. This is where I'm honest. I think it's going to hurt me worse to lose my dog than it did my dad or my grandmother. I think that it's going to absolutely destroy me.
But it makes sense though because Ruger came into your life at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel you with that when it comes to your soulmate dog because I hands down 100 and trillion billion% feel like that is Gracie for
Mm-hmm.
me. Don't get
Right.
me wrong, I have loved every single dog. Bailey broke my heart when she passed away 2 years ago. Like that was my heart. We had her since she was 5 weeks old. Amazing, amazing dog. Most humble dog you'll ever meet. And did it hurt me? And it still hurts to
Yeah.
this day. But I am Gracie's person. She is a dog, different dog. She is like night and day when I'm not with her. All of our other dogs, if was not here or Jason was not here, they were still the same dog. They were fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Gracie, like I don't know if I would call it a depression. Maybe you can tell me, or if it's just how she acts. But I'll go to work, and I used to take her to work with me all the time. And then COVID happened, and I didn't want nobody touching my dog. I didn't because dogs could get it too. Excuse me. And I remember hearing the first case down here was up in Raleigh, and it was a pug that had got it. Well, anyway, so I don't take her every day like I used to at all.
Right.
But when I'm not here, she just lays around and
Mm-hmm.
she'll just sleep. Like she won't play. She won't get her toy and play fetch or nothing. Sadie's out
Mm-hmm.
here with her. She don't play with Sadie. She just pretty much sleeps in certain spots and waits for me to get home. And then when I come home, she's a different dog.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's her grieving or just I don't know
I
because I don't want her sad and she loves Jason and JoJo, but it's weird.
I think think about you as a person. Has anything ever happened and you think, well, I'll just sleep and when I wake up it'll be over? I think she intentionally
Yeah.
sleeps longer so because when she wakes up she knows you'll be there. She don't have to prolong her time without you by being awake.
And because they're so smart, and you're gonna have to tell your doorbell story to y'all, because I ain't gonna let you not tell that, because y'all, this is crazy. But Gracie knows every time, like she knows when I'm coming home, because Jason and JoJo both said, um, when it hits about 7:30, she starts getting riled up, barking,
Yeah.
and she'll sit right here on this ottoman by my podcast station, and she'll be perched right there, or she'll be perched on something, waiting for me to come in that door. Because usually he'll have the door open so she can see.
Uh-huh.
And she's like the last 30 minutes before I get off, she's a completely different dog and back to her old self.
Right. Well, you know the reason they said that happens, right?
No, why does that happen? I know they can sense it, but why?
Okay, like for instance, okay, you have a routine of going to work every Monday, Wednesday, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right.
Well, she's got herself used to that, and when you leave, your scent through the day wears off, and they get to the point to where they know like there's only 10% of the scent left. That's when you normally come home. So
Really?
yeah, as your scent fades, they get used to that schedule of here's the level of fade that they're supposed to come back.
So I wonder how long our scent does last for then.
Well, you got to realize they say dogs' noses are so strong that it can
They're
smell
very,
a yeah, it can smell a grain of
yeah.
rice in an Olympic sized pool.
Oh no, I ain't never heard that before. I just
Yes.
know that their nose, their scent is uncanny, or however you say it. Like they can just smell like from miles and miles and miles away.
Yeah, they can smell in a grain of rice in an Olympic sized pool. That's how strong it is.
So would it help if like when I left for work to give her something that should, like if I'm getting out of my night clothes, or when I get out of not if I go to work in my night clothes, but when I get out of my night clothes, should I leave like if my nightgown, or wear a shirt or something and leave her with it? Would that help her, you think?
it could possibly help her. But, also, like I said, she's still going to know that as the scent throughout the room, as it starts to fade, she knows at
Oh.
what point it fades, that you're coming back. That's how they
Oh,
train
okay.
themselves to know your time. That's how they tell the time of the day when you get to come home. But yeah, I mean, that's the reason dogs do that. And I think that dogs, she may have a little bit of separation anxiety. I know when I leave, Ruger
Yeah.
does.
And it's so
But
sad, but oh, and it breaks my heart. But there's sometimes we just can't help it.
yeah.
Ugh.
But let me ask you this. Have you ever canceled plans or didn't go because you didn't want to leave Gracie? Yeah,
Yes.
me too. Yeah. Yeah. And have you ever went somewhere and left early so you could go back home to her?
Hell yes,
Yeah.
yes. Especially, especially when she was little.
Yeah.
Oh, Bridget, you can ask anybody. It was bad. I wouldn't go anywhere. I had to take her. I had to be back at certain times. I don't do it nowhere near as I did in the beginning, but of course, I still do it, but nowhere like it was bad in the beginning. Like they're like,
Mhm.
you don't never go anywhere, and you always got to be with that. She's my baby. She needs me, and I need her.
All right, now let me ask you this question. Somebody comes to your house and they don't like dogs and they say, "Can you put her up?" Would you put her up?
No, because
I
you're
wouldn't
coming to
either.
my house, and you know I've got dogs now.
Yeah.
If like a little kid was coming in or something and they were scared of dogs, and yeah, I would put Gracie up because I would not fear for the child. I would fear for Gracie because little kids are prone to grabbing a dog by the fucking neck and like not not intentionally hurting them, but
Right.
they can get hurt by little people, little kids. But I've never had to do that or anything. But yeah, I would never put my dog up for somebody, especially my dog is not a mean dog and they're not vicious.
Right.
Because none of our dogs bite. None of our dogs are just like I never met Ruger, and the first time I met him, what he do? Love on me and JoJo.
Yeah.
Sweet
Yeah.
as fucking dog. Like Ruger would fit in so perfect with our dogs because he acts the exact same way as Charlie and Gracie and Sadie.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's why the way I feel about it with people, like, this is my home. He lives here. This is his home. And you're not gonna
Yes.
make him get locked up in a kennel or in his room because you're coming to his home and you don't like him or you don't want to be around him. Sorry about you.
Right.
Sorry about you.
Now, Now I know me and you both are the same when it comes to not going places because of our dogs. Because like you even told me, like when you come to visit me, you're like, can I bring? Yes, you can bring Ruger. And now, will I put Gracie up? Yes, because Gracie she only does good with the dogs here, and not that she would bite Ruger or anything like that. But I wouldn't want her to annoy him and all that. So of course, yeah, I would put her up, but where she goes is like a condominium for her. Like I
Yeah.
make it like everything is in there and stuff like that. But something like that I would do, yes, because you're my best friend, and I want Ruger to be able to come, and Gracie can get a little high strung, and she gets very jealous. And but what I want to ask you is, what is the longest you've been away from Ruru?
Never, not once overnight. Never. He's went with me. He's been
Never, never,
never.
ever,
Never ever.
never, ever.
Never. Ever.
Wow. Mine
Never.
would be the longest I've ever been away from Gracie
Mhm.
was when I had my emergency appendectomy. Usually you go home like a day or two after that, but I was in the hospital for like I think 4 days,
Uh-huh.
because when they were taking out my appendix, it ruptured. And
Uh-huh.
you had to make sure like all the infection was gone and things like that. That was the longest I had ever been away from her, and it sucked.
Never overnight. He's never been boarded. Every time we go on vacation, he goes with us. I either look for, when he was younger, I looked for pet friendly hotels. And then, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be totally honest about it. I had started learning and researching that if he was a service dog, he could go with us everywhere.
Yep.
And so I got in touch with a service dog trainer. Her name was Bethany, and I told her, I said, listen, um, I'm doing this because I want him to be able to go with me everywhere, but I want to kill two birds with one stone. I have arthritis and fibro. Maybe you can help me teach him some service task that would help me with that. She said, oh, yes,
Right.
absolutely. So she come over and we started training. She trained me how to do, for him to be a service dog, and he does pressure therapy on my legs, and he can fetch medication, and he does, because of my arthritis, he does mobility assistance. So let's say, for instance, there has been cases if I walk up a hill or down a hill that I need his help, he's there to help me. When he puts on his service vest, he's a totally different dog. You wouldn't believe how much his demeanor changes when he's so because of that, he's went with me on every vacation. He goes with us camping. I've never, ever, ever, I would say the absolute longest I've ever been away from him, 5 or 6 hours.
Oh wow. I'm sorry. I know you were like, bitch, what are you doing? I don't know what is going on, but the hair on the back of my neck and on my head is like going up and it feels cold and I don't understand.
The,
That's weird.
the
It
spirits are
stopped now.
visiting you.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. And so I don't know if it was my mom or my daddy or another relative or I don't know. But that was just an eerie feeling and it finally stopped and I was like, what is going on?
Oh my goodness! I seen you look around,
Ugh.
but I thought JoJo and them was talking to you or something.
No, no, she's been in the bed and Jason's laying down because he, doesn't feel too good and stuff. And even though he didn't feel good today, he actually took the trash out and that, it warmed my heart. I was like, oh my God, my
Oh,
baby, my baby. I don't get on to him too much when he don't, when you don't feel good. I don't like when he doesn't feel good. It makes me sad. But I will tell you, Charlie is like that with Jason. Like, so you've got Gracie, who's mine. I mean, the dogs are all of ours, but
yeah,
I'm Gracie's person. Jason is Charlie's person. JoJo is Sadie's person. And
yeah.
they all three have separation anxiety. And I say that because I told you how Gracie acts. Charlie stays in Jason's man cave with him when he's back there. When he's out here, he's out here. When he's back there, Charlie's right up his ass. When Jason's sprawled out on his big old king sized recliner, Charlie's right up there with him.
Right.
But if he leaves that room and Charlie doesn't come with him, he barks, he cries, he whines. He can go outside on our front porch and he will stand right there at that door and cry. Sadie did the same thing. JoJo can leave her to come out here or to go somewhere and she'll cry. I'll be with Sadie and JoJo will walk out that door and she'll cry. And I'm like, it's okay, Mama. She's coming back. Like
Oh,
it's the damnedest thing. But y'all, let me tell y'all something that is really cool. And not that I wouldn't have believed it, because I do believe Bridget by all means. But she has her dog Ruger do the most unique trick that I have ever seen, and I've heard people talk about it, but I've never seen it until she showed me. And I really wish I could get Charlie to do it, but you've got to tell them about this.
what, the ringing the doorbell?
Yes.
Yeah. So y'all, he was often, and y'all ain't gonna believe this. This is how smart he is. But so he would, when he wanted to come in, he'd go out to potty. We have a fenced in backyard, so I just tend to open up my back screen door and let him out. And when he won't want back in, y'all can literally look at my glass on my screen door and it's scratched all up because he would do tat 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 on the glass, and that's how he'd get back in. And I didn't care because it's the back door. You can replace the screen door. I was just going to let him scrape it all up until a certain, till and then replace it later. But anyhow, my best friend was here who's not a dog owner, who's never owned dogs. Shelly has never owned a dog. And she was here and she heard him do it. And she's like, Bridge, you got to stop letting him do that. And I'm like, why? And she goes, look what happened to my neighbor's dog that used to do that. Her dog was a big dog like Rigger. And she showed me, and the lady had bandages all the way up to his little elbow. And what had happened was the glass broke and he went through it and it
Oh
cut him
no.
all up. So, you know
Oh
me. I was like, oh no, 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 we're not going to take that chance. I
yeah.
immediately went on Amazon and I found doggy doorbells. And what you basically do is plug the doorbell up into a light socket, and then the doorbell, it remotely works with the doorbell that goes on the door. And I have two, one for indoor, one for him to go out, and one for him to go in. Well, anyhow, so we just stuck it to the glass and he went outside and he's wanting to come in. And when he started tapping on the door, I said, no. And I said, hit the bell, hit the bell. And he looked at it and he looked at me and I said, hit the bell. And he hit the bell and I opened the door and he's done it every since. I showed
It
him one
only
time.
took you one time.
One time. Swear to God.
One time. I didn't know it only took you one time because I was just
One time.
about to ask you, tell the story of how you trained him and how long it took you to train him to do that.
That's it. Asked Brittany,
Oh
asked Ronnie
my
one
God.
time. Yep. And
One
now
time.
he never ever taps the door anymore. He stopped that day. And now I'll be laying in the bed or we'll be sitting in the living room and we'll hear ding ding. And it's Ruger wanting to come in.
Now, do you hear him? Because I've only just like seen him when it's ready for him to come back in. Does he do it often, like when he needs to go out? Because you're pretty good at saying, "Let me go take Ruger out. Let me go take Ruger out." But I never know, is it you just taking him out, or has he done that doorbell?
No, I have never heard him do it to go out.
Uh
He
huh.
tends to when he wants to go out. It's like I said because he's my soul dog. I can read him, but he'll come and
Right.
he'll sit beside you and go. Oh. He'll do like that, and when I know he does that, I know he wants to go out.
That's so funny because Charlie, he'll just come up and he'll just lay his head on you and just stare at you.
Yeah,
And Bailey did the same thing. I was like, I'm sure all dogs do it, but I like to say he got it from his mama because
yeah,
she would do the same thing. And you can always tell when he's got to poop because he does this. He'll stare and look at you and he'll go, and I'm like, okay, you got to go take a shit, buddy. Come on, let's go.
exactly. Yeah, he'll
And she
paint. He'll
did the same
pant.
thing. Yeah,
Oh,
when they got the got that turtle bobbing, they start panting and be like, let's go, 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 go.
mm-hmm. But
What
yeah,
what would you say before we go? What would you say if anybody looked at your and Ruger's relationship on the outside? Would there be one thing that you would say that people will be like, "That's unhealthy. You don't need to be doing that."
well, no, I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people like Tommy and them think it's gross that I eat after him or I let him eat after me and then I eat after that. Like he'll eat off my spoon. We'll share bites. So I'll take a bite of food, give him a bite of food. When I'm done, he gets to lick my plate. Like I do stuff like that with him. I don't know. I've even wanted to, you're going to say, now this might be gross, but, he's wanted something and I've been a little worried that maybe it was, too big of a bite. So I'll bite a piece off and then I go like that and he'll take the piece out of between my teeth.
Oh no, I've never done that. But like, if I've given them something, well, not recently. This was a dog previous, like in the past. I would
Hmm.
chew it up and then I would be like, here, I would take it out my mouth.
Yeah.
But there, okay, so because of
Uh oh. Hey, something happened. Hey, hey, what happened?
am I still here?
Yeah, you are, but it totally, I couldn't hear nothing for the long time.
That's weird. But well, my phone rang, but I got do not disturb on, and my sound is off.
I don't know.
So I don't know. Okay, it says it's. Oh God, did it? We lose all of it?
I'm still recording.
But it only shows 25 seconds
It probably stopped recording for you, but it's okay. I
for
can piece
me.
them together. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what I was saying was she was doing a video of her eating, and she had this long piece of sausage that she got from Costco or whatever, and she was giving the dog a piece. Well, she took the actual piece of sausage and put it in the dog's mouth to let him bite it. And when she pulled it off, she put it in her mouth and pulled it out because there was dog saliva stringing from it. And she just wiped it off with her hand and started eating it. I could not do that. I
I could.
ah, and they say that dogs' mouth are the dirtiest part of their body. I always thought it was the cleanest.
Hmm.
I always heard that their mouth was the cleanest part of their body, not the dirtiest part. But come to find out, their mouth is the dirtiest part of their body.
There's nothing I would. No, none of that grosses me out with him.
Ugh. I mean, I'll let Gracie lick me and give me kisses and stuff like that, but I'm not. I'm not sitting here putting my food in her mouth and letting her put up. Oh no, 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 no! Because the whole hot dog, half the hot dog went in the dog's mouth. So like she was trying to give it a little bit, and half of it went out. She slid it out, and he bit off a little piece, and then I. But she tore something off of it after that, but she still ate it. I was, oh,
That's so funny. Yeah, I would. But now let me ask you another question about. So we talked about you think in general that people are closer to their dogs now than they've ever been?
I really do. I really do. Because you see, Scott, especially on TikTok, tons and tons and millions of videos about people's animals. You see dogs more now in a lot of stores that weren't allowed back in the day. So
Yeah,
I do really feel like that dogs are more a part of the family now, and people do treat
than
them
they
more
used
like
to be.
yeah, better than what they used to be, and not so much like a pet, but a human being.
I think so too. I think we do.
Hmm.
We love our pets. We do, and I think that's not just me and Holly. I think that's a lot of everybody. But I also think it's because they've proven to be such great companions,
They
and
really are.
they never betray you. They never betray you.
No,
They're always there for you.
they are. They really are.
But anyhow, y'all, we hope you've enjoyed this podcast. It's just a little bit of how much we love our dogs. We'd love to hear how much you love your dogs. Who's your favorite pet? Who's your soul dog? Who's the dog that you or your cat or your rat or your bird? Which animal has been your soul animal? I guess is what we're wanting to know.
Yeah,
And
let us
y'all,
know in the comments.
yeah, also, while you're at it, if you've been listening to us for the last year, hit us up and let us know what are some of the favorite podcast topics that we've told you about or that we've talked about that you tend to like. That way we can bring you more of that content as well.
Yes.
But on that note, y'all make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell here on YouTube. Follow us on any podcast channel. Look for us every Tuesday and Friday at 11 p.m. Let me know if we're not on any channel. And until next time, y'all, bye.
Night night.
See, I thought that was good. I thought it turned
That
out
it
good.
was.
I thought it turned
Oh,
out perfect.
see now it's still recording on my end. It's not stopped. It's still going. It's saying 4 minutes, 22 seconds, 23, 24.